If you've looked anywhere on the internet this week, you will have no doubt have seen that video that has gone viral of the Israeli woman in the US who chased down and restrained a male jogger who flashed her. The incident was captured on video and has been widely reported in US media. Now, Aia Polansky is this superwoman's name, and she joins me now live from Massachusetts. Now, Aia, what went through your mind when this happened and you chose to go after him?
As I said all around the media, I was not really thinking. I just realized this is really wrong and it's not happening. And there's not going to be another guy who just flash himself and get away with it, putting a file in my head for the rest of my life. I just don't want to do that. And I decided I'm going to get him. I was very disappointed right away when I realized nobody helping out while I was holding him. And I did think, I'm like, damn, I have to take care of it myself.
Now, at this time that we're speaking now, this man is still at large and the police haven't caught him yet. Do we have any leads on him?
Yes, so they do have assumption of who it is. There's 4 more, if I'm not mistaken, don't get me out of word, I think there's 4 more women who the same guy flashed himself to them, and they went forward because they saw the video and they're like, oh, it's the same guy who did that to me. And when I heard that, I got so excited. I'm like, listen, you buddy, we're gonna, like, done, you're done. And I want every guy who even have this weird hobby to know that we'll get you too.
So Aia, if the police do end up catching him, are you going to press charges?
Of course. Of course. Stand up for what you did. It's wrong. It's unacceptable. We live in society where we're supposed to stand for each other, and flashing yourself, flashing your treasures to me without me asking for it. We're not in a relationship. It's not a foreplay. You just decided to start my morning with showing me your and no, you don't do it. It is sexual assault, and he needs to stand for what he did. He needs to be in court. Whatever the state choose to do with it. I'm really surprised there is even a video.
Absolutely. Now, you're a personal trainer and you also were in the Israeli army. Did you have to draw on your IDF training at all during this?
Yes, there is something that I get from my grandfather who survived the Holocaust. I'm very proud Israeli. I'm very proud of my service in Israel. It does tough you up. You do grow up faster because instead of being 18 in college getting drunk, you protect your land. In my case, it's literally because I'm from Ashkelon, and as you know, there's a lot of situations when you're like, oh, you guys, we have to sit in shelters for weeks. So it stuffs you up, and you do make a decision not to be a victim through life. I got a lot of it from my grandfather, but yeah, the army definitely made me a strong person.
Absolutely. And when you were going after this guy, did you have any second thoughts and think, hang on, he might be dangerous?
I was, no, I'm going to get you for sure. I did had a thought in my head when I was holding him down, yelling for the police that I cannot go farther with, as everybody say, beat him up, because I knew that in America you can get sued for that. And I knew that might not be proof of what he did. Basically, I'm holding a guy down and there is no proof of him flashing, although now there is. But when that was happening, I didn't know. And he can sue me for breaking his face or like hurting his arm. And this thought went through my head. That's why I was asking for help from people, because I was not having any warning of physically hurting him. I just want him to be responsible for what he did.
Now, as we just mentioned as well, you are a personal trainer. So do you teach self-defense classes, or do you plan on doing it now?
Yes, I do. I do start it now. All my clients all the time, we do self-defense with them training. I do teach them boxing, and I do teach them very aggressive reaction to situations. I'm very motivating by my personality, and I hear a lot about how you should be public speaker. And actually, it's funny because I was about to enter this field, but now with this situation, I'm going to go at it big time. I really want to do that. I really want to talk to people. I want to empower women and even men too. We have to, I think self-defense, Krav Maga should be something we all learn. And I mean self-defense, not not only physically. You have to learn to be mentally strong and physically trained, but mostly mentally make the decision of how you behave when situations like that occur. Especially, I know I'm viral in Israel now, but especially in Israel, it happens a lot. Israeli men are aggressive and they are in your face. And it's funny because this happened 3 days after I came back from Israel. And you see a lot of stuff in Israel, and choose to pee everywhere they want. And they're like, what do you want? I always say something because, again, we don't walk around and flash our upper body just because we feel like it.
Well, Aia, what advice do you have for other women who might find themselves in a similar situation?
Yes, pour the fear of God in them. Basically, what I say and something I teach in my classes, as soon as you open your body up and start being like vocally like aggressive, like, what are you doing? Something like that, they get scared because they don't expect a response. They want you like, oh, I can't believe I said it, and then you tell your friends, you tell your family, but it's there with you. If you go up to them a lot of times, and you know what, take your phone, take a picture, for God's sake. If he chooses to flash you, and I said it on the media, tomorrow he'll flash another girl, then he's gonna escalate and escalate. What's the big deal? I raped somebody. Go prove it was me. Nobody's supposed to flash themselves. I'm sorry. We're not in a romantic relationship at home. And women should be, don't be afraid. Be ready that something like that will happen to you.